Shalom. This is AHTHA from GMS Germany with a new lesson. First off and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor and thanks unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, KABAD. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles who immersed and taught us the truth. Peace and blessings, salutations to the elect out there who spread this truth, sincerity, and also charity across the four winds, and also strong shalom to the sincere listeners out there. So it's going to be entitled, The Heavenly Father going to make you prosperous, no one else. Okay, because I was reading the book of Genesis, and I'm going to go right into it. This is Genesis chapter 39 and verse 1. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, brought him off the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. So you have to understand that just a little bit of the story before, you understand what's going on. So you have to understand that as a father, you have a favorite child. It's simply like that. If you have sons, you most of them has one or many children, you have one favorite, and that's normal. And it's in the case of Jacob, which is the forefather of us Israelites, your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, so-called because we are the 12 tribes of Israel. You have to understand that he had 12 sons. And this time, he had 12 sons at this time. Yes, Chalake. But he had multiple sons. That's just the point. He had multiple sons, and his favorite son was Joseph. And then, through the action that he showed in front of his other sons, they envied Joseph, which they shouldn't do. They should be happy for him. They should be happy for him and acknowledge the father that he is gracious unto him, man. Because the father can be a demon to all of them, but he's gracious to Joseph. So I think at this point, if I remember right, correct me if I'm wrong, Joseph was even the youngest one. So Joseph was well favored, like it says in where was it? So like here, Genesis 37:3. Now Israel, which is Jacob, loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age. Yeah, because he was the last son, but the youngest one. And he made him a coat of many colors. See, in it says verse 4. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. Verse 11. And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the saying. So, because he had also dreamed that the whole family going to bow unto him, which is going to happen. But the point of the matter is, just to give you a little bit insight of what's happened before, because that Joseph was brought with through the Ishmaelites to the Egyptian. So he was sold by his brothers to the Ishmaelites because they was like, hey, we don't want this blood upon us. First wanted to kill him. They were so wicked they wanted to kill him. But then it was like, nah, man. Okay, boom. We're gonna sell him. We first throw him into a pit without water and food, and take his fucking cloak that he received because he's a well-favored son of our father, right? He well-favored. We take his cloak. That's how these people, these brothers were, which are the progenitors of the nation of Israel, So then, they put him in the pit, and then they sold him to the Ishmaelites. And then the Ishmaelites brought him to Egypt, and there we are right now. So going back, Genesis 39:2. And YAHAWAH was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his master saw that YAHAWAH was with him, and that YAHAWAH made all that he did to prosper in his hand. So you have to understand that the Heavenly Father makes everything prosper in this world. That's why I got this beautiful verse that this field right here, which looks really prosperous, because when you go into the word prosper, what we're going to do real quick, just bear with me 1 second. Oh, that's what I didn't want it to do. Just bear with me 1 second. Here, prosper. It says prosper from the mid-14th century. Prosperen. It says be successful, thrive, advance in any good thing. And then when you go a little bit down, it says from Old French, prospereux, and it says, and directly from Latin, prospere, cause to succeed, render happy. See, from prosperous, favorable fortune, prosperous. Okay, so it says be successful. Let's look that up real quick. Successful, accomplishing desired aim or result, having achieved fame, wealth, or social status. So you're achieving something. So if you're prosperous, you're achieving your goals, you're achieving the things that you have to do, like in the case of Joseph, because so okay, let's go back. So it says Genesis chapter 39 verse 3 again, and his master saw, even his master, the Egyptian master, saw that the Lord Yahawah was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. So everything that he did, he achieved. He basically wasn't failing. He had a task, he did it. He had a task, he did it. He had a task, he accomplished it. He didn't fail. Verse 4, and Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his hands. So you have to understand that he is a slave. Joseph at this point is a slave. He was sold by his brethren for fucking 20 pieces of silver into the hands of the filthy Ishmaelites, and then he got brought to the filthy Egyptians and was a slave. But through that, because the guy, when you go, where was it again? Right here. Genesis 37 verse 36, it says, and the Midianites, which are the Ishmaelites, sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's. See, he was an officer of Pharaoh's, so he had a high status. He wasn't just an officer, and captain over the guard. He was the captain over the guard, so he was the captain over the protection of the Pharaoh. You understand that? He was one of the main guys in Egypt. And now, what did we read? Let me read it again. Genesis 39:4. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. See that? So he trusted Joseph so much. He was like, yo, this man is so prosperous. He never fails. He loyal. He do what he has to do. Watch over my house. So you have to understand that he was in a super high status already. And Joseph was at this time around 17, 18 years old. Because in Genesis 37 and let me start verse 1, and Jacob dwelt in the land when his father was a stranger in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father the evil report. So you have to understand that, hey, yo, Joseph was very young, in this world right now, they would call you an adult, things like that in this age, But especially in Germany, right now you would start working, and this man worked his ass up already, because in Germany you go to school to what? Yeah, it depends, man. 16, 17, and then you go further to school. You go to maybe to a higher education that you can after go to college, because you can go. Just a little insight. It's a little bit off the topic, but just giving a quick insight. So what you do is you go from the kindergarten to the, I think, elementary school is called, to the 4th grade. Then you go to from the 5th to the 10th grade to school. I forgot the English name. And then you go based to high school. Can go to high school. You don't have to, because you can go straight after the 10th grade, go to a company and study and work at the same time, but get a fucking low income, like 700-800 euros only, and learn a job for 3 years, and then you learn the job and get a little bit more money, a full-time job, and can survive in this kingdom. But what you also can do is after you go to a higher education, which is called Abitur, which is kind of like the high school, and after that you can go to university. If you accomplish it, you can go to university, and then blah 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 blah. So just to give a little insight, that you have to understand which position Joseph also was, and Heavenly Father still made him prosperous. It's showing you the prosper comes to the Heavenly Father. It doesn't matter which situation you are, how fucked up the situation you are, how how can I say it? How fucked up your situation is or looks, and how unescapable it looks. The Heavenly Father, if He wants you to succeed, to make you prosperous, to accomplish the thing that you have to do, He's gonna let you do it. So it's all in the hands of the Heavenly Father, because it says verse 5, Genesis 39 verse 5, and it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house, and over all that he had, that Yahweh blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. So that's not an important point. You have to understand, sometimes people around you get blessed because of you. People around you get blessings to help you out. For an example, a guy that you knew in the world, he or that you come just in the truth, and you have a hard time, whatever, with money, and he just gets a bonus, and you always help me out, I take this money. It's the Heavenly Father blesses him that you get blessed. And like in this case, or any family member, or you live in school with your mother, or whatever, So you have to understand that the Heavenly Father is making everybody prosperous. The Heavenly Father making all these things to succeed. He letting people achieve things. It's all praise, glory, honor, and thanks belong to the Heavenly Father. Because He, like in the case of Joseph, the same thing with us. He let us succeed in things that we do, And what we're doing is plowing the field, man. Like I have other picture. Let me pull it up real quick. So like, we work in the field, man. Let me get it real quick. See, we working, man. We working in the harvest of the Heavenly Father. So everything that we do, everything that we accomplish is through the will of the Heavenly Father. And you really have to understand that. No one else should get glory, praise, and thanks as the Heavenly Father. Why? Because we are just vessels for the Heavenly Father. We are just vessels that He chose to do this work. Like for example, I'm with a brother, and the Spirit is upon me to help out the brother with certain things. Okay, you can thank me, which is good, which shows your humbleness and meekness, and also righteous, but ultimately you should thank the Heavenly Father. Why? Because He gave me the Spirit to be like that. Like for example, what is it called? Yeah, you ask a brother for something, and he says, yeah, I'm gonna do this, no problem. Even though he has a lot of burden, and he still does it, because we all got our own lots, and then we help our brothers out because we bear each other's burden, like it says in Galatians chapter 6, and I think verse 3, if I remember right, or 2. We bear each other's burden. So my brother's burden is my burden. Be thankful to the Heavenly Father because He gave the man the Spirit to do so. And ultimately, He let the man have this, give the man the power and the opportunity to be prosperous and to achieve this thing. So you really have to understand, hey, no one lets you prosper but the Heavenly Father. No one. It's only the Heavenly Father that let us succeed in things. It's only the Heavenly Father that let us be prosperous in things. Of course, He used maybe a vessel in this world to let us, succeed, to give us a certain path, whatever. But it is all to the Heavenly Father. He opens the way. He closes the way. He opens another door. He closes the door. He opens another door. And this is what we have to understand, man. So let me finish it. Genesis 39:5. And He blessed, and the blessings of Yahweh. Let me read up again a little bit. That the Lord blessed the Egyptians' house for Joseph's sake. So the Egyptian got blessings and got riches to Joseph's dealings, to his wife's dealings. Like you can read also when you keep on reading the book of Genesis. It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful history of us. Not only because people want things a fairy tale story. This really happened. And Joseph was just so wise to the Heavenly Father because it comes through him. He made him prosperous. He gave him this understanding. He gave him the interpretation of these dreams. How he came even up to Pharaoh's rank, man. Let me read it real quick. Because Pharaoh said this is really heavy. This is Genesis chapter 41 and verse 37. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh. What Joseph said, because Joseph was like, hey, listen to me. You got 7 years of very grateful and plenteous harvest, and then you got 7 years of famine. So get a guy, set him over the kingdom, and let him, order everything up, that he put everything as much as you need into bonds and save up for the 7 years of famine. And then the Pharaoh said, okay, this sounds very good. And in the eyes of all his servants. So you have to understand that Joseph is a slave. Joseph is the slave out of prison because he was put in prison because he got falsely accused by the wife of his previous master, Potiphar, okay, falsely accused because she wanted to lay with him, so commit adultery, and he's like, nah, man, I can't do this wickedness in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. I can't commit this great sin because your husband set me above the whole house, and the Heavenly Father let me prosper, showing you the righteous spirit that Joseph had. Okay, so now verse 38, Genesis 41:38, and Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of the Most High is? So who's that? Joseph. Joseph has the Spirit of the Heavenly Father upon him, and he even was prophesying. He was interpreting this dream and told them what is about to come, man. And that's the prophet to tell before. Verse 39, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as the Most High has shown thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. So because Joseph was faithful to the Heavenly Father and didn't take advantage of the situation, he was patiently waiting in the jail, patiently waiting. He told the two guys, the chief butler and the chief baker, hey, when y'all coming out, man, don't forget me because I gave you the interpretation of the dreams, Or he said, I think, to the butler, because he basically got to the chief butler again after he came out of prison and on the Pharaoh's birthday, So it's showing you, the Heavenly Father is merciful, and because Joseph was faithful to the Heavenly Father was faithful to Joseph and make him prosperous. And this is the same thing with us. We have to really understand these things are preparing us for the times to come, because if we are patient, if we are faithful to the Heavenly Father, no matter what, it doesn't matter what we go through, the Heavenly Father is going to let us be prosperous and succeed and give us everything we need, especially in times to come, because we are about to enter into tough times. The spirit is heavy upon brothers. You've seen all kinds of wickedness happening. People want to jab up your children. People want to basically kill all of us, persecute us, speak evil of us, and things of that nature. And you see it more and more happen. More and more police force at the camps. Like, for example, also with us in Germany, last week, or this week, this week, the same police that came a month ago, came again acting like they don't know us. Can we take pictures of you, and can we have one of y'all IDs? Yeah, okay, you can have it. It's cool. There's no problem, But the point of the matter is that, hey, the Heavenly Father is preparing us for the times to come, I'm telling you. So take heed and stay faithful unto Him, because He's going to stay faithful unto you, So to keep on reading, Genesis 41 and verse 40. Thou shalt be over my house. So Pharaoh is saying this. Let me read verse 39 again. Listen up closely. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as the Most High has shown thee all this. So Heavenly Father showed you all these dreams, the interpretation, and gave you all this, and also the way how we should handle these things. There's none so discreet and wise as thou art. Okay, verse 40. Thou shalt be over my house. So who is Pharaoh's house? The whole kingdom of Egypt. The power, the great king of Egypt in this time, which got even greater through Joseph. Or rather said, got really great through Joseph. And according unto my word shall all my people be ruled. See? And we read it again. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word, all my people, shall all my people be ruled. So he's saying like, according to your word, all my people, the whole nation of Egypt shall be ruled to your word. So he's basically the king. He's the first man under the king, because now listen up close what he says. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. See, only because he got the title Pharaoh, he's greater than Joseph. That's it. So you see what the Heavenly Father can do, man? It doesn't mean that it's going to happen to us. We're going to be now, counselors. Are going to be, with GMS Germany camp, going to be counselors to Germany, and America as apostles going to, nah, man. This kingdom is about to go. But in the time of Daniel, the time of for example, like Joseph, both of them was set up first man under the rulers, man. So it's showing you the Heavenly Father can exalt you to whatever He wants. But It's about to please him. It's about to follow him and do his bidding. Because if these men would do what the fuck they want to, yo, they would be not in the position they are, and they would just have hell, you know. Because what would happen with Joseph if he would go onto this wife of his master Potiphar? He would be killed. Simple as that, man. He would be killed, you know. And we keep on reading verse 41. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand. So Pharaoh took his ring off his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand. This is really showing you that he got the utmost respect of the king, and that he is the main man of the king now. Because for a king to take jewelry, costly, and jewelry from him, and you have to understand, he didn't do this discreet. He did it in front of all, because all the servants was there, right? So in his palace, whatever, he took this thing off and he put it on Joseph's hand. You understand that? And put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a golden chain upon his neck. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. See? So he was the main man under the king. And they cried before him, bow the knee, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. So he was the top ruler, man. And that's all to the Heavenly Father. So you have to understand, man. You don't have to worry, man. We just have to follow the Heavenly Father to the best of our ability and do his bidding, because then we're going to be blessed, man. Like Joseph. You know, 1 Samuel 2:6 says, Yahawah killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Yahawah maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. See? He bringeth low and lifteth up. The Heavenly Father do all these things, man. He does all these things. Yeah. Also see Genesis 39 and verse 23. The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, under Joseph, because even the prison, he was the main man of the prison leader, basically. Hey, the Heavenly Father is beautiful, because Yahawah was with him. See, when the Heavenly Father is with you, who can be against you? When the Heavenly Father is with you and wants you to prosper, who can say no? Nobody. And that which he did, Yahawah made to prosper. Yahawah made it to prosper, man. Beautiful. Going back, 1 Samuel 6 and verse 8. That's like 1 Samuel 2 and verse 8. He raised up the poor out of the dust and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill. See, because Joseph was basically in the begging state. He wasn't a slave, but he brought him out of the dunghill and put him first up over the basic king's guard, the chief or the leader of the king's guard's house. Then he was put in prison. Was the first man under the chief prison guard, and then he got the main man under Pharaoh, man. Yo, beautiful. And to set them among princes. See, to set them among princes, because he was among the princes of Egypt. He was directly under the king of Egypt and among the princes of Egypt. Because who are under the king? The princes. And the princes are counselors unto the king. You know? Most of the time, if they are really princes, because certain princes are only princes by title, but not through their action. You know? And it says, to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory, which we're going to do. We're going to inherit the throne of glory. Right now, we are servants, we are princes that walk as servants upon the earth. Paraphrasing. It says, for the pillars of the earth are of Yahawah's, of the Lord Yahawah, and he has set the word upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. See? You won't succeed by your own strength. You won't prevail by your own strength. Only Heavenly Father can make you succeed. He only can make you successful, man. You know? And that's simply the fact, man. Only Heavenly Father can make you prosperous. Verse 10. The adversaries of Yahawah shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. Yahawah, the Lord, shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of the anointed. That's the point, man. So, yeah, man, understand, man. Only Heavenly Father can make you prosperous, can make you succeed, which means to achieve the things that you have to do. You know, when we go back to that real quick, then we're gonna close out. Successful was it here? It says having achieved fame, wealth, or social status. So achieving something. To be successful means to achieve something. And let's quickly look up achieve. Achieve. Successful, bring about or reach by effort, skill, or courage. See? Beautiful. So be courageous. That's what we have to do. Be courageous and Heavenly Father. So it's everything I got. YAHWAH to the Spirit, power, mercy, and grace of YAHWAH was lesson edifying for the elect. I want to give once again HALALYAM, HAWAD, KABAD, THAWADAH, AHBANAWA, YAHWAH, BARAK, BASHM, KADASH, BARAK YAHWAH, BARAK YEUCH, BARAK YAHWAH, BARAK YEUCH, BARAK YAHWAH, BARAK YEUCH, BASHM, KADASH, YAHWAH, BASHM, YEUCH, BASHM, KADASH, BARAKATAM, WAHREIT, Shalom. To the elect, Yaris till next time, Shalom, Wa Barakatam, Wa Bababal, and again, double honors to the elders and apostles of Christ and taught us the truth. Stay strong in the faith, believe in Heavenly Father unto death, and give it your all, man. We are about to enter dark times, but hold on to the light, which is this word, which is this truth, which is Yahushua, and which is given by the Heavenly Father. Shalom.